Thank you very much. I'm Modeste Miseneza, group presenter. As you can see, we are a group and they are working on a project called Culture Dinner Party under the goal of comfort culture. As you can see also, I'm with my group members so that they can introduce themselves.
I'm Dina Mutarutwa.
I am Samuel Sayonara.
Yeah, thank you very much. We was working on, as I said before, Culture Dinner Party as a project, and everyone with my group members has the topic to talk about. So we are going to understand more about the topic that they was working on. So we can start from Dina to introduce our topics.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have worked on Tringit and the Thailandet, even my own culture, our Gogwe. Yeah, I'm gonna start with many differences and similarities I found for those clay culture. On Tringit, firstly I can talk about where they live. They live near Pacific Oceans in Northwest. As we see that the people who live near ocean like fishing and eat fish. For Trinidad people, eating fish symbolize kindness in their own culture. Also, they like to eat strawberries, which symbolize harvesting or symbolizing that their land is fertility. Again, I worked on tailgating, which have their own differences with those two remaining culture. They like to eat cheap cheese, they like to eat beans, and that things they did before going to play match, football match. That activities of eating beans and cheese they did it before going to play match. In their culture symbolized that they won the match before playing it, which also symbolize they have unity in their own culture. Again, on our Gogwe, they like looking out for cattle. On their culture, they like eating Irish potatoes, drinking milk, and what symbolize in their own culture, they symbolize that they have friendship between them, among them. Again, I have seen many similarities for those three cultures, where both cultures, when they taking that meal, they symbolize that they have collaboration among them. They were happy while they are taking that meals, and they take that meal in ceremonies or events, festivals. Again, that's the remaining similarities, all of that culture take that meal when in the large number of group and enjoying the moment together with many peoples and enjoying that event. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dina, for your clarification, and also it's very good, understandable. So let's continue and about the topic of Hawaii poi and the Japanese rice, as I worked on myself. So let me introduce first this topic. Hawaii poi, this is the food that produced from the taro plant. This taro plant is the plant which used to be cultivated there in Hawaii, where the people of Hawaii take this plant as the culture, and this plant means a lot in the Hawaii people and the Hawaii culture. Like they consider this plant as the plant that helped them to get starch, to get proteins and so on, which means in this Hawaii poi is just, as I said, it's a kind of food. In the culture of Hawaiians, they consider this as the ancient food, which means their ancestors, they used to eat this food, which means in here in Hawaii, this Hawaii poi is very and very variable. And also I worked on the Japanese rice. Everyone knows rice, sure? Yeah. Rice is a very important in Japanese culture because this rice means a lot also in this Japanese country, which means here in the culture of Japanese country they used to eat rice, where they said when you don't have rice in your home, they mean that you have nothing to eat, which means you are poor. This means that to have rice, it's very important in this Japanese culture. So apart from this, also let me come back on my own culture. My own culture is culture of Abanyiginya, where in our culture we used to cultivate as our culture, because when we are cultivating we get something to eat, and we can also help us to get like basic needs. And also in our culture we usually like to drink milk from cow. Cow also means a lot in our culture. You know, in our culture, if we don't have cow, you are not going to get a wife. Yes, which means cow is going to give you a wife. This we consider cow as we consider cow as an exchange of like a dowry. Yeah, you know, dowry. Yes, when you have a cow, you are going to ask for a bride, and you will get her because you have a cow, which means in our culture, cow means a lot. We not only cow, but also we used to have in our culture also, we used to have like some games, like, so I can say it in Kinyarwanda kunyuranwa, where we used to have old people to play a game like fighting, but actually it's not fighting. It's just a kind of a game that we use to do as a gathering family, and we can enjoy ourselves. So maybe that this is my culture, and I know my culture is very good, and it's very understandable.
But
So
I have a question.
Yeah, you are
You said
welcome.
that they use cows to exchange. You give the family a cow, then they give you a bride. Is
Yeah.
what you said?
Yes.
So is it like is something which is considered as to buy a bride, or I'm not getting on that point of view?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. That's a very good question. So cow means a lot in our culture, as I said.
Yeah.
But cow is not just like a price to buy a bride. No, cow is just a pleasure, or thanking the parents that they raise where your bride. It's in the time of thanking the parents.
Yeah.
That's why we give the cow to the bride family, to express our feeling, to express our happiness that they rise well our bride. I think that's understandable.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was my culture and what I worked on. Thank you. So you can welcome Mr. Samuel to continue.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the floor. Me too, I've worked on two culture. Then I add the third one was my culture, my own culture.
Sure.
Yeah, the first culture that I work on is the Hindu wedding food. Actually, the Hindu wedding food in the Indians, they like to use coconut while they are celebrating in during the wedding. Yeah, this is because coconut is symbolized as they take a coconut as a fruit of God. You know that something which is like a God, they respect that coconut. Yes. The second one, they use rice. Yeah, that means in the Indian weddings you can't miss rice. And the rice in the Hindu, it is symbolize prosperity. Yeah, that's why they use rice. And you will see the bride and the groom using the rice they put the rice on the head each other in order to make it like a fun, like a game, but using that rice which symbolize prosperity. I think, yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the second culture that I work on is Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine. Yeah, in Pennsylvania, you know, in the native Pennsylvania, they use the porks. They use porks, and also they use the circuit. The circuit, they mix circuit and the porks. Is their delicious foods because it was used by their ancestors. So they celebrate by eating those porks and circuits. And those foods, it symbolize lucky and fortune in their culture, and they like to use those food especially in the ending months of the year while celebrating the new year. Yeah. Then going next on my culture of my culture of Abatega. In our culture is a very good culture actually. In our culture we like to eat the energetic foods. This is because when we eat the mixture of energetic foods like sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, and beans, yeah, we will mix those foods with the beans in order to have a strength within the body so that person can perform very strong works. The second thing that in our culture of our Tega we use is just a milk. As you have been saying, also in our culture we use milk. And it's very drinks which is very respectful because the milk considered as a cure in the family. This is because the milk you can give a milk to someone who has poisoned in order to take off the poison in the body. Okay, because when you drink the milk, you drink the milk and in your body you have the poison, you vomit, then the poison get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the assigned task on my side. I think if anyone have a question, okay, I'm able to answer the question.
Actually, we don't have any question, but your own culture is very interesting.
Yeah, it's very amazing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so thank you very much. This is what we was working on as on the project called Culture Dinner Party. Oh, this is all about our working. Thank you very much.